So...
Hey! Chapter 3. Episode 3.
Oh, God.
I'm ready for this.
I am not ready for this.
I am. We have a weird picture that we've never seen before. We had episode 3 of When They Cry 3. We got
indeed.
Banquet of the Golden Witch. It's the name of this chapter.
God.
I hope you're ready.
We did read this, I think, in the last recording, but let's read it again.
Let's read it again.
Let's read it again. And when I say I mean you.
I mean, I will.
Yeah, do it.
Because I'm a narrator person. Damn, you are antsy today. Episode 3, Banquet of the Golden Witch. Good morning. I'm quite surprised to see you still haven't surrendered. The Golden Witch has extremely high hopes for you. Have you figured out the structure of this world by now? You have no chance of victory unless you know the rules. Please enjoy your game with the witch to your heart's content. The difficulty level is equal for both you and the witch. Now, I will warn you, despite it saying that difficulty level is equal.
Of course it's not easy.
You know what? I just want to make sure that you knew what I was about to say. It's good. He's gained, what is it, omniscience? Precipitation? That's it.
Yes, I have gained water.
You know what? I don't know what the word is, but he knows what I'm about to say before I say it. And the door opens.
Is it precognition? Is that the word you're looking for?
That was the word. I hope you're ready for this crazy shit we're about to get into.
I am not.
This is when the story really gets going.
I have been warned there are lots of voices for me to do.
There are.
And I am very concerned because I am not a man with much voice acting talent. As my Dungeons and Dragons group can attest to.
This is true, I'm part of that group. Oh, where are we? This is like... Where are we? What are we doing?
If only there was someone in the room that knew where we were.
If only there was someone who knew.
If only.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, God.
The vase was very beautiful, rich with history and value. Even as young as I was, it still forced me to take. Oh my goodness!
Sorry, trigger happy.
Oh no!
I'm too excited
to take a deep breath when I witness its beauty. Now
what?
I forgot. We're being narrated by a different character, so this is not the voice. Any voices?
Angie, isn't it, you motherfucker?
This is a character. I want you to do a neutral voice for this character. I don't want you to go ham.
This is Angie.
I can either confirm or deny.
Angie, isn't it?
I want you to be this character though.
This is gonna be Angie.
Just give it a neutral voice, please.
See, the problem is right now in the IRL timeline, this is when I'm editing episode 1.
Yeah.
So I've been going over, and I think I said this before, but I'm noticing like random name drops, and I'm like, crap, that means they're actually gonna be important later on.
I will say, when I was reading this part of the novel, I had a similar wavelength, is all I will say, but I would like you to take this narration.
Of course, it was a member of Grandfather's favorite collection, so that I didn't accidentally destroy its fragile beauty. I was always given strict orders to never touch it. But that just made me want to touch it. It looked light and yet so elegant that just glancing at it gave it an indescribable sense of dignity. I wanted to see what it felt like to touch a vase like that. However, just as Grandfather had said, it was a thing that shouldn't be touched. I'm glad we're just hammering this point home.
Yeah, it shouldn't be touched.
Shouldn't touch it, Ben.
It's too beautiful.
It's too beautiful. Something this beautiful shouldn't be touched. Such beauty can only dwell in something so easily broken. Because of that, just the brush of a finger by someone like me would... like you? What does that mean? What does this mean?
I don't know. It's a great question.
Is this person...
you're already over that. We're only in the first scene and you're already overanalyzing.
This is
exactly what I want.
Yeah. I'm completely overanalyzing this murder mystery that we're a quarter of the way into.
This is true.
So theoretically a quarter of the way into. I can't wait for it just to be like, get to the end of episode 8. Fuck you, episode 9.
A hidden episode.
Just like how a fun dream disappears with proof when you wake up. It disappeared, fell and broke into pieces. Wait, did that just happen or is that just
Someone smashed a vase.
I realized that because of my own foolish curiosity, I had done something that couldn't be taken back. Hold on, did it actually say the vase was broken to start with?
Was very beautiful.
Okay, so it was, I'm very confused.
Oh my goodness.
It's
not even that complicated. This isn't even a murder mystery and you're already lost. This is perfect.
No matter how much I regretted it, no matter how much I apologized, the broken vase would not be returned to its original form. Grandfather will probably scold me, probably very harshly. I ended up breaking into tears and sobbing, frightened. As I did, creepy noises, something beautiful. Lightly dancing golden butterflies were coming towards me. Right out the gate. As mysteriously glowing golden dots shot in the air, the butterflies began to gather one at a time. Oh, it's Beatrice.
She's just there.
Beatrice, that reliable golden witch. Reliable is not the word I would choose. She had arrived. That is not a Beatrice that I know.
Isn't it a Beatrice?
The butterflies kept gathering until they formed a cloud, and then she was there. She was always there for me. Whenever I was in trouble, she'd always appear and save me.
Good day to you, princess.
What is going on? Beatrice. Where, hick hick? I was told neutral.
Oh my. Why are you crying so, and on a day so well suited for a tea party?
Oh goodness, what is... I broke grandfather's precious vase. Grandfather's gonna get mad at me. I don't know what to do.
I see, that is worrying. The master really treasured that particular vase, didn't he? Ho, I'm imagining how he'll punish you scares me, even me, Beatrice.
Grandfather was a very frightening person, and when you failed to follow something he said even once, he would become so mad with a rage that would make even the fallen angels in hell quiver. Interesting. So I knew that down to my bones I couldn't do anything but tremble and cry.
I possess no magic that can scoop up your fallen tears, princess. But if you need magic that will prevent the master from scolding you, I may be able to manage something.
Really?
Yes, if you'll be gracious enough to believe in my power, princess. The power of belief is the source of magic. Miracles only appear before those of great faith.
I believe in your power, Beatrice. So please fix this vase. Please.
If that is what you want, princess, then leave it to me, Beatrice.
When she extended her index finger, a golden butterfly softly landed there and changed its form into her favorite cane. But even that was enough to give me a small glimpse of Beatrice's wonderful and awesome magical power. She pointed her cane at the broken vase, and just like a child's lullaby, she began speaking the magic words.
Come, try closing your eyes, and try to remember. What form did you have? It was surely a very, very beautiful form. Please show me that form one more time.
I'm not sure if it's just my headphones, or if you're actually trying to do a very slight, accent right now.
You know what? It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Were they words, or was it a song? No, it had to be magic. That's a new image. We've not seen that one. That one. After all, can't you see? The pieces of the vase are rapidly gathering together, gently returning to the place where they'd been on display, reassembling into their original form. Incredible.
See? Now it's back to normal. This way you won't have to get yelled at by the master.
I'm just so that everyone is aware what's going through my head right now, I'm just imagining this calm, quiet, collected character is suddenly just gonna flash a sadistic fucking smile, and we're just going right back to Pain Train.
Sure. I mean, it's Beatrice. What do we know of Beatrice so far? She's a pretty cruel person.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the accent comment was because we were talking about Dante's Inferno, which is an Italian story.
Sure.
And that
okay.
Felt vaguely like an attempt at Italian.
Did it? Okay.
It makes me very suspicious.
It's fine. It was an attempt at Italian, yes.
Beatrice, you really are amazing. You can fix broken vases like it's nothing.
That's not true. Returning something broken to its original form is a very, very difficult thing to do. My magic can only make it remember what it once was for a short time.
But the vase really turned back to the way it was, right?
Correct. But that doesn't mean the vase has avoided its fate of being broken. All I did was temporarily get the broken vase to remember its form before it broke. I have not yet attained the high levels of magical power that might be used to restore a broken fate to its original form.
At that time, the high-pitched scream of a servant could be heard from inside the mansion. When I went to see what happened, I noticed that several of the servants had gathered and were cleaning the remains of the broken vase. From what they said, it seemed a black cat had sneaked in from somewhere and had climbed on the vase, crushing it, causing it to break. I understood the meaning of Beatrice's words. At the moment I broke the vase was broken. Beatrice let me see the vase being restored, but that was a temporary thing. It didn't mean she'd changed the fate of the vase being broken. And so the vase remembered its true fate and broke. However, the one who broke it wasn't me, but a cat that had snuck in.
Hope you're paying attention to this.
That's right. Beatrice never said, let's fix the vase. It just occurred to me that is a symbol on her sash.
Oh, is it? What kind of symbol would that be?
That is, one-winged donkey, by the looks of it.
A donkey? Yeah, that sounds right. An Italian one-winged donkey. I've heard of those.
you can see it's got the donkey head, and then it's got a wing, and then this is a donkey's tail, you know, from the game Pin the Tail on the Donkey.
Yes.
Well-known game for witches.
It's true. They love pinning tails on donkeys.
She said she'd prevent the master from scolding me. The fate of the vase breaking hadn't changed, but the fact I broke it certainly has. Beatrice cleverly saved me from danger with that magic.
It is very easy to break something. After all, you didn't need magic to break that vase, princess.
Then is fixing stuff really hard?
It is. It's so hard that you broke down crying, unsure of what to do.
Does that mean magic is easier to use when doing terrifying things? What? That breaking and killing is really easy, but fixing and reviving things is really hard? What?
That's right. With magic, it is far easier to break and to kill. That's why weak witches lose the temptation to become intoxicated with gathering easy power for themselves, neglecting their true magical training.
What?
Real magic is the power to repair, to revive.
What?
We're learning about magic. To summon happiness that has disappeared, to summon love that has grown cold. And it can even summon a smile to the face of a princess who has forgotten how.
Then Beatrice, since you managed to fix that vase, does that mean you're an incredible witch?
I am okay. My days of training are far from over. After all, I couldn't make the vase forget its fate for even an hour. I am sure my teacher who taught me magic would have been able to restore the vase to its original form forever. So if it kept breaking and breaking, she'd be able to fix it over and over again. That was your line. Yes, as you say. When one reaches that level, they are considered to be an endless witch. That is the endless level that all witches ought to reach. We offer the utmost respect to those witches and call them by that title.
An endless witch.
That's right. To witches with the power to mend things endlessly, the concept of breaking doesn't even exist. They are released from all sadness caused by losing things and are promised eternal bliss.
Certainly, the human world is full of sadness caused by separation and loss. To escape that sadness, people pray to gods and ask for the power to withstand their sadness, believing it to be a test. In other words, a human's life is a journey searching for a way to withstand sadness. In that case, a witch who could revive all things would be freed from all sadness in the world. Simply put, that would mean eternal bliss. I wonder if I could become a witch like you and gain eternal happiness.
You a princess? Oh, it is a long, long, difficult path, you see?
I want to become a witch. I want to find happiness. Beatrice, I want to become your disciple.
Do you have even a trace of doubt in that feeling?
No. I want to become a witch too.
I understand. Then, until you get tired of me, I will make you my disciple. Would you call me teacher?
Yes, teacher.
That's a good answer. Then from now on, learn the depths of magic along with me. I am also in training. Let us both learn the proper use of magic, doing our best to reach that blissful level.
Yes, teacher. Slow fade to black. Monochrome. Fade to white.
Fade to white!
Are we gonna get a real early set of intro credits right now? Is that what's about to happen? What is going on? Welcome back to Purgatory.
Purgatory! Purgatory hype! A dream. That face takes me back. An endless witch, was it? That rank I'd yearned for in the past, as the highest possible achievement, was now just another one of my titles. No, you might even call it my calling card. Every once in a while, being called that can be quite satisfying. I trained so many days to achieve that rank.
I find it interesting the choice of days.
It'd be a bit of a waste if I never got a chance to appreciate it. She shook her head lightly. If it's the highest possible level, that means there's nothing higher. An eternal dead end, the beginning of eternal boredom. I remember what teacher told me. When one is released from all sadness, it is the same as eternal bliss. That's what makes me think that teacher couldn't ever have reached that level.
What?
This is confusing for you, is it, Battler? Pay attention. Eternal bliss means eternal boredom, and that's the beginning of eternal torture. But it all depends on how you look at it. Eternal boredom is the same as a sketchbook that doesn't run out of pages. It means you can draw whatever you want, can try to have as much fun as you want. Boredom is the worst sort of poison which kills all witches. Even those great witches who are given the title Lady fear it. It's the eternal poison that tortures them because of the eternal bliss they've reached.
Wait, isn't fucking Small witch, what's her name again?
Lambda Delta?
No,
or
no, yeah,
Berncastle?
Berncastle. Isn't she the witch of...
What is she the witch of? Do you know?
It's something about boredom.
No, it's not at all.
What is it?
She's the witch of miracles.
Is it?
It's not even close to boredom.
I thought Beatrice was miracles.
But they are both. No, Beatrice is gold, and she's also endless.
Right.
But they're all ladies, all three of them. Lambda Delta is certainty.
Right.
So you're a witch of gold, certainty,
I need to
and
update
miracles.
my notebook that I'm,
You definitely
that I'm
do.
working on here.
I mean, magic doesn't exist, right? So none of this really matters.
That is true.
None of this really matters, right?
Yeah, this is all irrelevant, and none of it will play into the story in any manner.
None of it. Now that I've earned the name of Endless Witch, I truly wish I could speak with Teacher again. Is happiness really what lay at the end of our training? And just what is happiness? I wish I could talk with her about that now.
So she took her teacher's name?
Training has no end. When you think you've reached that eternal level, that's exactly the time to bemoan your own immaturity. I recalled those words as though she'd answered me directly. I see, so I'm immature, am I? How amusing, how truly amusing. Sound of painfully sure laughter rang out. It was coming from my furniture. What, did they break their toy again?
Beatrice Summer, this guy stopped moving again. I haven't had nearly enough fun yet. What a pathetic man. My god, there's too many of them. But I haven't got a chance to play it all yet.
There's only 7.
Let me play. Oh god, we're still going. Be silent, filth. If you keep devouring him like starving dogs, of course he'll keep breaking right away. No matter how well kept Beatrice Summer fixes him up.
Yes, Satan of Wrath, you tell him.
You broke him the most, Satan, eh? You just don't know what holding back means. We're still going. My apologies, Beatrice Summer. Please forgive my stupid little sisters. Still going. Fix him quickly. I'm next. Why?
There's 7 of them. Must you keep up that infernal racket.
Eep.
A single yell was all it took to make the noisy sisters of the 7 Stakes vanish. All they do is mess around, have as much fun as they want breaking him. They only come to me to clean up afterwards.
I'm very confused.
You should be.
That's good.
Truly, this furniture never leaves me bored. Once the furniture hid themselves, all that remained was a sloppy mess. The last remnants of a broken toy. It had no form anymore. It's hard even for me to remember its original form in this state. Better to make it remember for itself, perhaps. Oh well. I waved my golden pipe. Then I spoke. I chanted. I made it remember. Come, try to remember. What form did you have? After all, right now you pretty much look like a huge lump of scrap meat. I have no idea which part is your arm and which is your leg. Unless you remember, I won't even be able to recall your face. By the power of magic, the pitiful pieces of meat began to remember what their form had been. Which part should go with which part and where should join with where. That's right, just like that. No, you should be a finger on the left hand. That's the right hand. That's it, good. Good morning! Have you woken up, Oshumia, butler? How ironic that your true nightmare begins after you awaken. If you would just accept that I'm a witch, you'll quickly wake up from this nightmare and I'll send you to heaven. I am the king of Mount Purgatory. There's no escape from this hell without my approval.
You call this hell? That's just useless. That's all useless.
I'm impressed you can still talk like that. After experiencing the pain of death not once like any normal human, but more times than I could count with all of my fingers. This is why I never get bored. I never get bored of you.
No boredom problem here. After all, I get my pick of those massive tit and H-hands with the dazzling asses in my harem.
Oh my god.
Thanks to that, I'm not likely to get bored for a while now. I just...
You got some lip.
Battler. You are just...
The best character.
Just... God. It's gone from, like, shock to just...
He's so done.
Depression.
That's splendid. Otherwise, I would get bored too. So, my furniture, I've fixed him so you can play as much as you want.
Thank you very much. Oh, mine. I told you, your turn's over, I'm next. Get away from him. Ah. Wonderful, isn't it, Battlecon? Look how popular you are. Popular guys have it rough. Get in line, freaks.
Then they killed him.
Again. If you just stayed obedient instead of acting tough, this would go much easier. Now, he's good like this. His screams feel so much better. Okay, let's not break him so quickly this time. You'll hear me. You aren't running this show. Battler-kun, let's continue where we left off, okay? After they locked Jessica Chan's room with the master key, how did they return the key to the corpse's pocket, which was inside the room? Well, maybe that's it. They used a fishing line of... Oh my god.
That got this!
Sending the key into the... How do you... That's not how fishing lines work.
Yes, it is. That's right.
You can't push things with a fishing line. Wrong. So naive. Of all the doors that exist on Rakenjima, this is the first time I get to speak in red. I'm excited.
Oh shit!
None has a crack through which a key can slip. What? That is a very fine tolerance on door craftsmanship.
Mm-hmm. None of the doors.
Either that or they are very large keys.
This is true.
He was wrong, right? Right? Okay, this time it's me. My turn. Where should I strike? Me, back of the hand. What?
They're stabbing him. In his body parts.
No fair. Okay, I've got the back of his other hand. I'll take the tip of his nose. What is going on?
They're just stabbing him.
Why?
It's fine.
Let me do it. Let me strike too. Don't be so slow, Leviani. We've always done first come, first serve. Okay, I'll take the top of his foot. Why is this? Me too, me too. I'll take his shoulder, okay? What is going on?
They're just stabbing him. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Your sisters, right? Is this you?
No, this is you.
Play nice with each other, okay? I can't believe you're still resisting. Why haven't you realized that your false courage actually gets us fired up? Sorry, but false courage and being stubborn are my specialities. This is true. No matter how you all try to confuse the issues, I definitely won't accept witches and magic. Even though you can't explain anything with human tricks, you stupid? Yes. Know your place.
They said it in red. Battler's incompetent.
It's okay, we don't have to force him to accept it. Soon he'll want to accept it so hard he'll start crying. Even now, he really wants to kneel down on the ground pitifully and beg our forgiveness.
I think he just died again.
I think so. Oh, he's broken already. Beatrice-sama.
Ah, well. Since I know I can revive him over and over, my furniture won't even hesitate to break him. Good grief. Giving eternal rebirth and eternal death at will. Before the endless witch Beatrice, all life and death has no meaning. Even death can't become the key to escape from my cage. Come, Battler. Remember your original form again. I'll toy with you to my heart's content, understand? I see how truly pleasant to have a toy to play with for all eternity. Ah, could this be the endless bliss witches gain at the endless level? I see. Yes, this bliss certainly is amusing. I'll revive you over and over, kill you over and over. Let's see what kind of murder play will unfold on the next game board. Come, bring it in. Let the next game begin or show me a battler.
Well, I'm certainly...
Pay attention.
This is gonna be any different. I'm gonna mute this one because last time we put this up, we got a copyright strike on this shit.
Really?
Yeah.
That's horseshit.
Yeah, we had a very long conversation about this copyright strike. It identified Pantera's Mouth for War as this song.
Could we get the copyright strike taken down?
I'm working on it as we speak.
Well, that's fine. We can talk about what we see here then.
Yeah.
You can always cut this.
I mean, this is still all the same as we've had in the previous episodes, right?
Yeah.
Does anything change?
You can either confirm or deny any changes.
It doesn't look any different so far.
Oh, so we got, George and Jessica hanging out by the window.
Yeah, once again,
Nazi and the
back on
clock.
Rakenjima though, not Italian place.
This is true. Not Italian place. That beating heart.
I spent lots of time trying to figure out if this order was any correlation to what people died in, but I couldn't seem to match
it's
it up.
different each time, so I don't know. Yeah. magic circles.
And then this is one we've spoken about a few times.
Yeah.
But
now, is this the chapel? Is that the chapel that we see in the background there?
I don't know.
I think it
actually,
might be.
But you can actually
There's
see
Maria.
someone dressed as Beatrice in the corner there when it first like starts to flash.
And there's the bottle.
Yeah, the bottle, which supposedly is the end of the first episode, according to you.
According to the witch's game board, it was like, this is that tale found in a bottle or some more shit. Found by a fisherman. Like, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. Anyway, chapter 1 end. Let us continue.
Are we about to have another fucking half-hour boat scene? Oh my god, we are. I'm so done with boats.
It's okay, we're not on the boat.
I've already been editing boats.
Actually, I think we are on the boat. There.
That is my thoughts exactly, Rudolph.
Too bad Umineko hates cigarettes so much.
Oh, he smokes?
Sorry. She's been pretty grumpy since last night. Please don't hold it against her. Rudolph and Hideyoshi went out on the deck and took out some cigarettes. Eva had always hated the smell of cigarettes, but when she was in a bad mood, she got even more sensitive to them. When they decided to smoke casually until they reached Yarn, the two of them had gotten yelled at and chased out onto the deck. Hideyoshi tried to use his lighter, but the strong winds gave him some trouble. Rudolph took out a Zippo with a smooth gesture, product placement, and let Hideyoshi borrow the flame. When did you start smoking cigarettes, Hideyoshi Nissan? Just after the war. In the beginning, I was rolling them. Then I started using what I sold. Drug dealing. Alright. So you were already smoking when you met Umineko. Bet she's always telling you to stop. I never listened to her, so she's already completely given up on that. Men gotta be stubborn times like these. Hideyoshi laughed heartily, but Rudolph snickered. After being scolded by Eva, they'd escaped to the deck together with their tails between their legs. There was little doubt who had gotten her way in that exchange. She isn't usually so short-tempered. In fact, she's usually a more gentle, quiet woman. Every year she changes when this day comes. Is that so? To me, she just looks like the Umineko we've all known so long. Nah, it's just it. She's back to being Ava of the Ashumiya family. But that ain't the Ava I know. Well, I know why she's grumpy. This family conference is gonna be a real pain. Got that right. There's a plan to threaten money out of Krasny-san. We may call it a family conference, but it's gonna be just a sibling fight at this rate. Before the family conference, 3 of the siblings had made a secret pact with Kraus.
Without
Kraus. Important note there. They were all facing urgent situations and need a lot of money fast.
Right now.
And the only one they could turn to was Kraus, who spoke for the Ashumiya head now that Kinzo spent his time shut up in his study. For a long time now, they'd vaguely sensed that Kraus was taking advantage of the fact that Kinzo had lost interest in his own wealth. And they suspected that he'd started embezzling that wealth to suit his own purposes. Despite being disgusted by this, they turned a blind eye to it while everything was still going smoothly for them. But now that they needed money, they really couldn't afford to let it slide. Eva had asked Rudolph and Rosa to form an alliance, and they were now scheming to take that money away from Kraus. Rudolph-kun, both you and I are company presidents. We're responsible for the livelihood of our employees. Yours is a president too. Well, as a hobby. Damn. That's right. Sorry. Basically, we've all got responsibilities. Now that I throw down the gauntlet in front of the executive board, I gotta bring in the money, even if it means getting down on my knees or drinking mud. Same here. I can't betray the employees who've trusted me and followed me for so long. That's why I need to get some money out of Krasny-san, even if I have to grab him by the neck. Or the collar. Umineko and Umineko have always been at each other's throats, and now she's gotta challenge Umineko head on. It's no wonder she's on edge. So Ava really has had a bad relationship with Krasny-san since long ago? Hasn't she talked about it? They were always at each other's throats. She never talks about the past, even if I ask. She probably doesn't want to remember. She's always been brainy and shrewd. Her grades were good too. Compared to that, Umineko was just average. The simple fact she existed would have been pressure enough, but she kept boasting about it and driving him into a corner. That fool. Why drive him into a corner so openly? I'd hardly call that shrewd. No kidding. Umineko regretted being born a woman, so she probably couldn't forgive Umineko since he was chosen to succeed the head just because he was a man. She'd always boast to Dad, letting him see that she was better at every little thing. Father really is an old-fashioned person. Gender discrimination was part of his system of values. I'll bet Ava's eagerness to prove herself made him dislike her a bit.
His transition's very slow.
Sit in the atmosphere.
Very slow-paced chapter where everyone dies excruciatingly slowly.
Now this is you. I believe this is a certain German-Russian man, I believe.
Man?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say schooling for women is like sugar in black tea? The taste is dull and flat without it, but too much ruins the whole thing. Since you can still drink black tea without sugar, he was in effect saying that there was no need for women to study. What? Those infuriating words were what Nissan hurled at me in despair, when I asked her to go to college only to be denied by father.
This is Ava.
Is it Ava?
This is Ava narrating.
I'm so confused.
Oh my goodness. There's a flashback, dude.
I protested that I needed to build up proper dignity and an education as the oldest daughter in the Ashuramiya family, making college an essential next step. And when it came down to it, father and Nissan's answers were exactly the same. How conceited for a woman. I've never taken the Ashuramiya name lightly, not once since I was born into it. And I've been even more careful not to take my father's name, Ashuramiya Kinzo, lightly. Our family is an old one with many traditions, but it lost its wealth and business in the Great Kanto earthquake, pushing it to the brink at one point. That was when father took control with his ingenious talent, reviving it to be greater than it had ever had been before. There were a lot more "its" in that sentence than I think were written.
That's okay.
Not once did I forget that I was the daughter of that great Ashuramiya Kinzo. That's why I always made every effort to become worthy of that name. I needed dignity worthy of the Ashuramiya family, schooling, manners, and leadership. Even if I couldn't quite reach father's level, I deepened my knowledge in economics and finance, trying to improve myself so I could be of use to him at any time. However, in the end, father never acknowledged my efforts. To father, a woman was only a means to support a man, and nothing further than that was permissible. When was it that I came to understand that? It may have been as early as my childhood years, but I was going to have to wait until I grew up before I could truly accept it. Compared to me, you couldn't have said that Kraus, my older brother of 2 years, worked hard at all to become deserving of the Ashuramiya family name. He told me many times since my early childhood that he would naturally succeed father simply because he was born a man. He kept on repeating that as though it formed an uncrossable gap between us. I couldn't stand it. Even though I always got better grades than Nissan, even though I became class president when he never managed more than vice president, even so, Nissan was considered to be the appropriate successor to the Ashuramiya family just because he was a man. Of course, you could find gender discrimination everywhere in those days, and it was even considered a virtue in that era. During that despicable time, people said that when a woman is born, she obeys her parents, when she gets married, she obeys her husband, and when she gets old, she obeys her children. But that was exactly why I wanted to turn that on its head. Innocently, I kept trying to prove that I was the most fit. However, I eventually realized that all of my efforts had been doomed from the beginning. Wouldn't you say schooling for women is like sugar in black tea? The taste is dull and flat without it, but too much ruins the whole thing. What do you mean by that, Nissan? Just as there are roles that only men can fill, there are also roles that can only be filled by women, correct? I do believe in giving birth to children, raising them, and supporting the master of the house are roles that can only be filled by women. Trying to say there's no need for a woman to work or study? I wouldn't go that far. Talking to an unskilled woman is tiring and nothing more. However, women are even more tiring when they're too smart. I do believe that a woman as violently assertive as you would bring no end of hardship to her future husband.
Damn.
You trying to say that a woman has to marry and hide in the shadow of her husband? That's none of your business. Though you're my younger sister, I can look up to you for the respect you hold for father and your desire to become a daughter worthy of him. Even I am capable of feeling respect for such noble sentiments. That's just disgusting. What's this about noble sentiments? I'd call that flowery prose coming from you. Are you pretending to be the head already? The decision that I should succeed the headship has been established from the very beginning, and yet you seem to be laboring under the illusion that you might become the head, hence the useless and reckless efforts you've expended thus far. Reckless efforts? Is it really that bizarre for me to say I want to go to college? Yes, it is bizarre. You undoubtedly are the oldest daughter of the glorious Ashuramiya family. One day you will support that family crest by being wed to the partner most valuable to father. However, excessive learning is not what's being asked of you. What you need are gentle feelings that will allow you to care for your husband, the ability to handle housework, and the humble demeanor that will reflect well on the master of your household. These are all skills you lack utterly. In the end, can you really call yourself a suitable daughter of the Ashuramiya family? I have no intention of being some secluded lady. I just want to be the person most capable of assisting father at his work. Then shouldn't you do so in a manner befitting in the Shiromia family daughter? What is with you? You're still mannish even at your age, and you've never learned to wear makeup in a way that will please men, much less how to cook and do housework. I hear you've even been learning how to brawl. That's rude. The martial arts aren't brawling, they're a perfect way to train and discipline the mind. And when it's needed, I take more than enough care to act as a woman should. What are you trying to say? That women should be slaves who work for men, so I mustn't be so forward? It isn't elegant to say it out loud, but I think a few unpleasant words are necessary in order to correct your mistake, so let me say it plainly. Women exist to serve men, and men exist to provide for women. A woman's job is to protect a man's back, to protect his house and raise his children. Is
so crass.
Yeah, most women realize this without being told. They realize it on their own. But even after all these years, you still haven't realized that about yourself. So I've decided to clear away that misunderstanding for you, before you leave this family. You ought to thank me. This is an insult to all women. No, wait. I've never thought of myself as a woman, and I've never depended on anyone because I'm a woman. How am I inferior to you, Nisa? In grades and accomplishments, in everything, I'm better, so how can you look down on me when you have nothing I like, except the fact you're a man? It's about knowing one's place. Every day I have been raised with the readiness of one who will be head. In the future, that preparation will surely become essential. But you are different. Even though you will marry and lose the Ashurmia family name, you're being trapped by this unnecessary illusion. What's your complaint? Even if you'd been born a man, the successor to the headship still probably wouldn't have been you. Wait. This is Kraus still.
This is Kraus.
God damn it. Wrong voice.
It's okay.
What's my complaint, you say? Nissan, you're always like that. Looking down at me because you'll succeed the head, even though... What's my complaint, you say? I've got a billion of them. Grudges, hard feelings, humiliations I'll never forget keep floating through the back of my mind. They're all built up the same. Coming out of my throat is a shameful moan.
What's all this noise? God isn't the only one who holds silence as a true virtue.
Father! He'd probably overheard our sibling fight. Father entered with a clearly unhappy face.
Kraus, are you fighting with your siblings again? Why don't you have the dignity to act as a leader for your brothers and sisters? How shameful. I'm embarrassed to hear this from my eldest son.
Fucking Kinzo. Oh my god.
In a flash, he struck Kraus's face. I readied myself to be struck the same way, but I wasn't hit.
My apology.
My apologies, Father. Fucking show the sprites.
My apologies, Kraus. I did not mean to hit you.
Fucking show the
Unlimited power.
I wish they'd show the sprites. I'm glad.
Why do you think that they might be showing this, not be showing the sprites?
Because they're young.
Yay! Nailed it. Good.
It just makes it very confusing to read.
It's okay, I got your back, fam.
Dignity isn't the only thing you lack, there's much more. You're immature in everything, and even so you pretend like you're an adult. Realize that it's 100 years too early for you to talk like that and devote yourself to your studies. Don't make me lament my son's incompetence anymore. Oh, yes.
So down for Kinzo.
I love Kinzo.
He's great.
Yes, I will continue to strive that wait, no, Kraus, fuck. What? Yes, I will continue to strive so that I can become a person worthy of succeeding your father.
Do you see how hard it is to do scenes or is it just you talking to yourself? It's how I feel in every servant scene.
I know, and it makes me so happy that most of them are you.
Yeah, I've definitely tried to make it that way, as best I can.
Why?
Because I don't want you fucking dying. Because I feel responsible for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for my health and safety.
As much as I can. Oh god.
It was as if those words were directed at me. Even when he was being yelled at by father, he was still bragging to me about how he was special, about how he was the successor. I just couldn't stand it, and finally spoke what was on my mind. I can't do the voice right now.
That's okay.
There's too much grin on my face.
Oh my god.
Even though I realized it would be improper for a member of the Ashurmia family to do such a thing. Father, please tell me how I'm inferior to him. I've tried so hard, studied so hard to become a person who won't bring shame to your name. Please tell me how I'm inferior. How can I improve myself to earn your acknowledgement?
That again? How many times do I have to say it before you'll understand? I expect nothing from you.
Fuck.
Women should be women and just learn how to cook and sew. You aren't prepared at all as a woman. In you, I don't see a trace of the mindset needed to serve one's husband, to earnestly devote oneself to a man's needs. What good are you as a woman? Don't you realize that you're a daughter of the Ashurmia family? and yet you only want to learn things so that you can act like a man. Your duty is not to imitate Kraus. Don't you even understand your own duty?
Holy shit, that's a line. Don't imitate Kraus, like, as if she's not doing it, like, as an independent human being. Oh, God. Kinzo, please.
As a member of the Ashurmia family, I won't bring shame to your neck. That's it. That's where you're already wrong. Your duty is to marry out of the family and bring me a man who is profitable to me. And then you will devote yourself to your husband, give birth to children, and multiply. Be a good wife who brings praise to your husband's family.
Just what is it that you can do to please a man? Do you think you can make tea? Wait,
Is Kinzo still?
Fuck.
Is Kinzo still?
Let me start again. It's just this scene.
It's okay.
Just what is it that you can do to please a man? Do you think you can make tea? Do you have any talent in cooking? You have nothing. All you've done is try to mimic Kraus, haven't you? Kraus will succeed the Ashurmia family. If you're unsatisfied with that, then you are disobeying me. Are you saying you'll refuse to listen to what I say even though you're my daughter? Get out. You're disinherited. I won't let you call yourself an Ashurmia. Disinherited. Ugh.
And then Ava was disinherited and never came back to the island. And didn't die. Yeah.
Father, hang in there. Please calm down. Genji-san, could you please bring some water?
Yes. Immediately.
Ava, leave this place. He doesn't mean what he says. I will calm him down.
Disinherited. If you won't listen to me, you're disinherited.
Father was coughing pretty badly, and Nissan patted his back, as if it was a duty that was naturally his. It was so vexing for me to let him take that duty for all himself right then. If I carelessly approached Father at that moment, then I would probably be the one to get hit next. However, I fearlessly tried to approach Father's back. Genji blocked me.
Ava-sama, perhaps it would be better if you stepped outside for now. The master is not in a good mood today.
But...
Why are my children so incompetent? Kraus is lacking dignity, Ava is always stubborn tomboy, I have no son who's like a man, and not even a daughter who's like a woman. Where did I go wrong raising them? Why, Genji? When and where did I go wrong?
Master, you haven't done anything wrong. Kraus-sama has grown into a sturdy son, and Ava-sama into a lovely daughter. You haven't made any mistakes.
How can you say that? What's so lovely about her? Far from a lady, she's always acting like a man. Disinherited.
Ruff, ruff.
Father, that's just what I'm always telling Ava. Ava has promised she will have a change of heart and act like a lady. Couldn't you postpone that decision for just a little longer?
Who's a lady? Disinherited.
I can't keep doing these coughs. I will destroy my voice.
That's okay.
Go quickly and leave this to me. Kraus gave me a look telling me that. My throat is just so short. I cannot.
Do you wanna take a break from voices and talk about that scene real quick?
I mean,
because I feel like we're gonna get a scene out in the rose. We'll get to this in a second.
Uh-huh.
So we've just come off episode 2, recording wise, pretty soon after.
Yeah.
I think, which is probably why my friend's voice here is just destroyed.
Uh-huh.
So
even if you can't hear it, I lost my voice over the past weekend.
I think that this is a good point to talk about some of the similarities between Rose's attitude and the things we learned about her in the last episode and what we're now learning about Ava through that conversation. How, because Rosa was like, well, when any of the siblings were around me, they'd bully me, and now Ava is saying I just want to be like Kraus, or I want to be an independent, stereotypical Japanese woman, mother character. She wants to be the head of the family, which is not something that's done, apparently. That's just not a thing that Kinzo believes in. Whether that's, to do with the family itself, or that's just Kinzo, I don't know that we entirely know, but Kinzo certainly believes in that doctrine. So we're seeing a kind of, it's not really extensive right now, maybe we'll learn about this as we go forward, but we're seeing how Ava has interacted with her family in the past. We're seeing her attitude towards the headship. We're seeing a look at the traditional way that the Ashurmia family does things. I don't know. Does any of that strike you as odd? Does any of that sound like clues to you?
I mean, the thing that's interesting to me is that despite the solid reinforcement of gender roles by Kinzo, there's then this, like, just undying respect for Beatrice as a female character.
Is it respect, though, on Kinzo's end? What makes you say respect?
I mean, maybe
curious.
respect is the wrong word.
Because
but,
he did break down in the last episode and say, like, Beatrice, you from your head, look, I like hitting the table.
Stop
you
hitting
from
the
your
table.
head to your toes to the broth of your corpse, you will be mine. I will have you. Very, like, objectifying.
I mean,
in his speech patterns.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still like he is yearning after her.
Sure.
Rather than what this would be like, you know, the woman trying to make herself appealing. At least that's, you know, the intention or whatever.
Sure.
But there doesn't seem to be any of that. There's no explanation of who Beatrice is to Kinzo other than just this object of lust.
Yeah, I mean, we've learned a little bit about that, but it's mostly in, like, passing remarks. Kinzo was about to, like, talk all about her in his will, and then he was like, sometime around the war, and then we, like, cut to black. And there was the bit where Beatrice was talking about the seeds of love that have been sown. That makes 3, referring to the love between Kinzo and Beatrice. So there is something there. We know some of Kinzo's relationship with Beatrice, but we don't have it fully fleshed out yet, I don't think. I don't know. Do you feel like Ava has any, like, parallels with the way that Beatrice has been portrayed or the way that Beatrice has acted? Is that something that you would say?
I wouldn't say parallels just yet.
Sure.
Because I don't think we've really seen... Well, at least in reference to this scene.
Sure.
We haven't seen Beatrice, like, in a weak position other than, like, oh, look, you put me in a weak position, but fuck you, I win.
Yeah.
That's kind of...
Totally.
That's all we've seen from Beatrice in that circumstance.
Sure.
The only, like, interesting one was how she freaked out about love at the end of episode 2.
That's true. She did. She was
But
like,
again,
you can't love someone.
Yeah, but that doesn't really parallel this scene that well. That was more
Sure.
about just, like, you can't have love, which that doesn't seem to be...
Pretty fucked up.
It's pretty messed up, but at least that seemed to be, like, sexual love rather than familial love, which...
Sure. Oh, right. Like romantic. Is
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than, like, this problem here.
Yeah, totally. Like, that's something that we're seeing about the family, at least in terms of Kinzo and his kids to each other. There is a solid lack of familial love between these characters, at least from what we've seen. Yeah, so maybe we'll learn more about that. Anyway, we should finish this scene. Let's keep going.
Yeah. This is Eva, I guess.
Yep, this is Eva.
Did I take the wrong path, just like Father Nissan said? True, I never studied how to be a lady. Everything I've learned was done in the hopes that I could help Father someday. But is that really true? Haven't I always been trying to compete with Nissan? With whom I've had a bad relationship since I was a young girl, because I wanted to steal his position as successor and show him a thing or two? Every chance he gets, Nissan tells me that men should be manly and women should be womanly. I've been tormented by this unfair discrimination because of my gender, something people are born with and can't do anything about. I resisted endeavoring to this very day to study and prove that I'm not inferior, despite being a woman. But that doesn't mean my love of learning comes from a stupid complex I've got against Nissan. Father wanted me to become a lady with whom he could go out in public and not be embarrassed. Did I betray his hopes, earning good grades and threatening Nissan to satisfy a childhood resentment?
Long pause. Oh, that's...
You are definitely taking this character, my good sir.
Hold on. Oh.
It's not quite as exciting. That's okay. She's just wearing a little, like, schoolgirl outfit, I think.
I'm very confused.
This is a younger version of Ava. Don't worry about it.
Wait, this is Ava?
Well, it's complicated, but she certainly looks like Ava does. But, like, younger.
Uh-huh. Wait, so is this the same character?
This is a younger version. This is like the younger, rich kid version of Ava.
Because I thought that a different character just entered the scene. because we're talking at someone right now.
It's complicated, but that's a good way to think of it right now.
I mean, what I'm assuming now is that she's yelling at the void, presumably the void being Beatrice.
Sure.
That's not it. You swore to me saying I'll become the successor to the Ishirimiya family. I can't.
Like, that is as high as my voice can go right now.
You gotta go higher. You gotta go higher.
No, like, legitimately, I cannot right now.
That's alright. Just stick with Ava's voice. It's fine.
Yeah, you...
There you go.
What? The one whispering to me was the me of my years as a young girl, born inside my heart on the day I made that oath. That's right. She was my only ally. Things got difficult. I felt like I was about to get crushed by it all. She would always quietly appear and support me. When I ran into roadblocks and despaired, she would always appear and support me. When I grew up and the memories of my childhood years faded, I also started to forget my conversations with her. I assure me Ava will definitely become the head of the Ishirimiya family, and I'll triumph over that irritating, arrogant Kraus. On that day, we promised to do our best together to achieve that. That's right, we promised. On that day, I promised that I would become the successor to the Ishirimiya headship. She's talking to herself. Oh, it's too much. On that day, when I'd been overcome with sadness, wondering why I was even alive, you appeared from inside me and lent me your strength. Father didn't accept me. I wanted to teach Nissan a lesson. I believed that doing this would let me say goodbye to the wretched creature I once was. For a time, I truly believed my life had no purpose other than to be looked down upon by Nissan. It's painful just remembering those days. There a wound, a crack inside my heart. She taught me how to sew up that wound. I turned my anger into effort and improved myself, trying to become a person more worthy of the headship than Kraus was, trying to triumph over him by making Father accept me. It was my perfect revenge. I was vaguely aware that a woman couldn't possibly become the family head, but I thought that maybe if I could prove myself valuable enough to overturn that premise, then surely even Father would select me to be his successor. If that happened, then I'd be able to have the greatest and most perfect revenge against Nissan, who always acted like his succession to the headship was completely inevitable. That's right, if we can manage that, the wounds in our hearts will be healed. We promised to each other to do our best until that day comes. And now you're saying you're gonna go break that promise? Scum. Coward. If only you just give up and die.
If only you just give up and die.
If only you would.
Oh my god.
Even though she looked like me as a kid, she was still another me. Her tongue was sharp because it was mine. It made me pretty mad hearing that. Oh, no, it made me pretty mad hearing that even from myself. You have no right to speak of me like that. Then let's use that anger to fuel our learning. Changing anger into power is my magic. I've saved you from a bunch of tight spots with that power, letting you succeed when you shouldn't have. As long as you have my magic, there's nothing you can't do. Ava's magic now? Okay.
That's what we're implying.
That's right, anger has always been my driving force. I wonder when when it was I forgot that. If you can remember me again, that magic will become ours once more. Come on, let's turn that anger into power and study even harder, okay? I know we've still got a lot to learn. Let's go to college, study more, more and more, get excellent grades and drive Kraus into a corner. That guy acts like we're nothing, but I'm sure he feels pretty well cornered in the inside. If only he'd just learn his place and die. Oh god, if he did, we could become the head. Rudolph wouldn't take the job. That kid can't go against us. Stop that. No matter how much more I study, Father still won't accept me.
A sip?
Oh god, my throat
You sound like you need it.
Dude.
You were not prepared for this.
It's not that I wasn't prepared for this, it's just the throat.
This is why we don't give Ava a ridiculous voice that will kill your throat.
But hers isn't the problem.
Uh-huh.
Fucking Ginzo. And also me screaming about Genji.
Hey, you didn't come here. Wait, what do you mean? What are you screaming about Genji for?
Like, last session we recorded.
Oh, right. Yeah. Totally.
That's what did this to me.
Okay. Well, it's okay. I don't think I need to scream about Genji.
I hope not.
Genji just yet. Maybe.
I already lost my voice once. This is the comeback.
Okay. I believe in you.
Why not?
Fighto!
Father told me to be womanly, because I'm a woman. No matter how hard I tried, Father wouldn't have passed the headship onto me, even if I'd been born before Nissan. No matter how much effort I put in, I can't become anything more than a woman. I'm so sorry to the audience who loves the voice. I know you love it.
It's okay, let's keep going.
I won't be acknowledged. Nissan doesn't try at all, but I can't surpass him. He looked down on me forever. Father and Kraus are the worst kind of male supremacists. If only they'd just die. She cursed them for my sake. Words that I couldn't say so easily, she said for me. Even though I understand that she's just another part of myself inside me, I feel like she's the only ally I have who can sympathize with me. But while sympathy might do a lot to calm my heart, it won't do anything to improve my current situation. In the end, she can only console me for however long it takes for me to be dejected by reality before I finally accept it. Thank you. You've done enough. Now that it's come to this, I'll become such a good lady that it'll shock even father. I'll find an excellent man that Nissan can't even compare to. You can't do that. She rejected my timid thoughts. I understand, because she is me, I understand. All father said was that he won't let a woman succeed the headship now, but even that's just a rule father made up. Since he made it, he can get rid of it. Human feelings can change far more often than the number of sand grains on the beach. Kraus is such a stupid man that father's eventually going to realize it, even if we don't prove it for him. When that happens, the wall that separates man from woman will be demolished by father himself, who set it up in the first place. Yeah, he was the one that came up with all of it.
It seems like it was. That's what we're saying. That's what she's saying.
Yeah, gender discrimination invented by Kinzo, confirmed. How can you be so sure? Because that's my magic. If you just believe, this magic will surely summon a miracle. The basis of my magic is nothing more than your believing heart.
That sounds like some horseshit to me.
Yeah,
What? That's dumb.
If I use this magic, then surely I'll never have to doubt until the day I die. Then I'll become the head. So is she gonna be the first to die this time?
Neither confirm nor deny anything of the sort.
But I don't know if that's the right thing for Shirami or Ava. Maybe I should aim to become the kind of lady father wants. Someone who can proudly participate in high society. And if I'm reborn, maybe father will change his opinion of me. Maybe I can find my own lifestyle just as Nissan has found his. And anyway, I can't just imagine my stubborn father choosing a woman like me as the head. Especially if it means skipping over Kraus. I can feel my voice getting lower.
It's okay.
In Max.
Push to the end of the scene. I believe.
My God.
I believe.
I don't believe. I was just thinking. No, that was the line.
I know.
Maybe I can't succeed the headship, but as a woman, I can have a child. And Nissan still isn't engaged. If Nissan isn't able to father a child, and I gave birth to one, then wouldn't it make that my child the next head after Nissan? In other words, wouldn't that mean the same thing as stealing the headship from Nissan? You serious? Yes, I'm serious. True, it'll be very sad to abandon the resolve I've had since childhood. It pains my heart to betray you, my younger self, but this is my most realistic option. Are you throwing away your dreams? Yes. And me as well? Yes. I'm not throwing anything away. Wrong. I'm an adult. Are you? And the day has come for me to part ways with you. What's going on? That's right. Ava's already become an adult. She's even forgotten how to use magic. And now she's the mother of a single child. What?
Time's getting a little bit weird right now, I think.
She forgot all about how magic can grant one's own dreams, and now she's forcing those dreams onto her son. Wait, so is this Ava witnessing this child in her own flashback and talking with the child that was just talking with father? Is that what's going on?
I have no comment. I have no confirming or denying to be done.
Because that's the impression I'm getting.
I'm glad
now.
you're confused. This is how it should be.
Even though father and Kraus ruined your life, you're trying to push your dreams onto your son, ruining his life. Is that what you call being an adult? George is a son. Yeah, that's what's happening. George is a son I'm proud of, one who won't embarrass himself no matter where he goes. The dream I wasn't granted might come true for George. Jessica's a delinquent in both her grades and her behavior. Yeah, you criminal scum. And she's a woman. If only Jessica would step down, George would become the heir. Even saying it was painful. Am I just forcing my own regrets onto George? It's not like I have any right to look on Jessica with scorn. Wasn't I just horrible for hitting her with the same words that had caused me so much suffering? I understand. I understand. The desire to triumph over my brother is part of my own personal revenge. I can't use George for that. So I'll take revenge myself. I have a plan to cheat Nissan out of his money with Rudolph and Rosa as my allies. I'll surely be able to get back at him. In any case, I'm sure that Nissan is embezzling father's assets. What a boring plan. Why don't you just give up on that and cry yourself to sleep?
Damn.
Wrecked.
Even more savage than regular Ava.
We will become the Ashiramiya family head. Don't mistake what your dream is, and believe me when I say it'll definitely come true. Believe in my magic. If I believe, I wonder if any power will dwell in that magic. It will. My magic can grant any wish with certainty. I'll believe.
With certainty, you say?
I'll believe, so create a miracle with that magic.
With certainty?
If you don't... That took a second to sink in. If you don't, the hole in my heart will never heal. Okay, then listen well. Listen to my magic words, and understand. If we can solve the riddle, we can become the Ashiramiya family head. So lend me... Alright, yeah, Lambda Delta said she was going to interfere in this game, didn't she?
What, did she?
Oh, God.
That's... What? What are you talking about? What could you possibly be referring to?
I was so behind what was happening right here. So lend me your ears and listen carefully.
Lambda Delta, what are you doing?
What are you
Crazy
doing?
cat, you.
Oh, I can't believe that took me so long.
Oh, look at this. It's the epitaph.
It's the epitaph.
Want to read it?
No.
You don't respect the epitaph? You should.
Listen, if you don't know the epitaph off by heart by now,
Well, you're not even a real Umineko fan. Oh! Look, it's Kyrie.
that's right.
Kyrie.
That one. Shout out to Aspiety.
Shout out. Ava Nason, it looks like we're about to arrive. When Kyrie
You nearly did it.
shook her shoulders, Ava jumped and awoke from her doze.
I'm sorry. I was half asleep.
Sorry to scare you.
And Ava, you were out cold. Did you get up early this morning?
Maybe. I'll let you all see something embarrassing. Sorry.
Well, I'd say it's pretty impressive you were relaxed enough to sleep. Bethel kept yelling, we're gonna fall, we're gonna drown.
What a nerd.
Can't get bored with this guy around.
What a nerd.
Shut up. All humans have at least one thing they're weak against.
Like octopus.
Throwback.
Battler and Jessica came in messing around. Rudolph also made a face as if asking, are you okay? Get a hold of yourself. When you see Dad and the rest, all that sleepiness will go right out the window. Let's all give it our best, okay?
That's right. We have to keep it together, especially this year.
That's it. Let's all tighten our assholes and go. Jesus. Rudolph said these strict words in a small voice that only Ava could hear. Let's just tighten our assholes.
Yeah.
Failure.
Let's just tighten our ass.
assholes.
Just tighten our assholes.
Tighten that butt. Yeah, girl. What? Failure would not be tolerated
just
in
inappropriate.
this year's family conference.
I was just, making sure everyone was on
Failure
board
would
and
not be
snappy.
tolerated.
Ben.
All of their companies were hanging in the balance, Felix. Even Rudolph's face looked a little tense. Ava's expression probably a little tense as well. Mom, I have our luggage. Let's go up onto the deck.
Thank you. You really are considerate, George.
Yeah, what a perfect son.
What a perfect boy.
Why are you thanking me so suddenly? It's not like you, mother.
Yeah, it's not like you to treat me nicely.
Damn.
Throwback to episode 1 when Ava was just a straight bitch.
Ava's the best. Don't even hate. Ava, George, we're there. Get my luggage. Ooh, we're there.
Hey, Maria.
Oh god, that hurt. That legitimately hurt to do. I don't mean like emotional pain, that was physical
Both.
pain I just felt.
I mean, not as much as eating your brothers and sisters. Singular sister.
Yeah, that happened, didn't
That
it?
did happen in the
Hey,
last
Maria,
episode.
stop running around or you'll trip.
It seemed Maria was already getting excited. She ran circles around Hideyoshi, escaping from Rosa, who was trying to catch her. What is it, Mother? Do you feel sick? George, take our luggage and go on ahead. Your mother's probably feeling anemic, so I'll lend her a hand. Really? Okay, I'll head up first. Something odd in Ava's expression told Hideyoshi that it hadn't been a pleasant awakening, so he made George go on ahead. She was having a weird dream about old times.
About old times and the thing that you're... I'm glad you pointed out to me, otherwise it would have gone straight over my head.
Rudolph's family and Rose's family also went up onto the deck, leaving Ava and Hideyoshi only inside the boat. Grandma. Ava had a vague expression on her face, as though she still hadn't been able to escape from her daydream. What's wrong? Why the meek face?
I wonder if I'm using George as a tool for my own revenge. I wonder if my childish hostility towards Nissan has caused me to treat that child's life like a toy. What have I done? What have I...
That isn't true. George is our wonderful son, and he'll always perform admirably wherever he goes. Ava, even if you let your own hopes get in the way a bit, everything turned out okay in the end, hasn't it? You haven't done anything wrong. In fact, George is grateful for the strict discipline you gave him, right?
Really? Hey, really? George doesn't think I'm a terrible mother, does he? Does he? Does he?
Yeah, he's never said anything like that. Not even once. They're just worrying too much. Hideyoshi-sama, everyone has left the boat. Oh, did you lose something? Do you need a hand?
Of course, we know Kumasawa, famous for gossip, heard
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah, this is true. Kumasawa had come to check on them when they hadn't gone up to the deck. Hideyoshi hid Ava behind his back so that her expression wouldn't be seen. Yeah, sorry. My necktie pin just got a bit crooked. We're fine. We'll be out in a sec. Go outside for us. Is that so? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Then I will wait outside. Even though she didn't really understand,
Sure.
Kumasawa realized that something had come up and disappeared so that she didn't trouble them further. If they stayed here any longer, they would probably make everyone else worry as well. It's about time to go. We'll make George and the rest worry.
George really doesn't despise me?
Oh
Yeah.
god. Oh, that... It's too much.
Don't worry, he doesn't despise you, even if your voice changed suddenly. Nothing of the sort.
Suddenly just gets like an octave lower.
Yeah, it's fine.
Doesn't despise me, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Nothing of the sort, man.
In fact, he's very grateful.
Dude.
Ava, yeah, what up? What up? What is happening? Did you have a nightmare? Again?
That's very slow dots. Yes.
Hideyoshi knew that Ava was often tormented by nightmares, and they always grew more marked on the days leading up to the family conference. Hideyoshi knew that Ava's relationship with Kraus was still full of antagonism to the point of being traumatic, and that she still couldn't let go of the feelings she'd had as a child. That was a dream. I'm with you now. If I grasp your hand like this, that dream will go away. Right? Look, I'm holding tight.
That hurts. Thank you. I'm fine now. Let's get off the boat.
Yeah, let's get off the boat. Everyone's waiting for us.
I'm sorry.
Hmm?
I'm sorry that I yelled at you about the smoke from your cigarettes just now.
Come on, you normally wouldn't apologize for that sort of thing. You're a little frail after having that dream. Don't worry about it. I was wrong for not realizing that the smoke was affecting you.
Have you started to hate me?
No way, no way. If I hated you after something like that, we wouldn't have lasted 3 days. Come on, stand up, stand up. Let's get off the boat.
Oh no.
Hideyoshi-sama, Eva-sama, is everything alright? Are you not feeling well? This time it was Goda.
Was it? I couldn't tell.
He has such a strange voice.
I skipped the
you
line.
skipped my line! Go back! They'd kept everyone waiting too long after all, so they sent Goda. Because
Yay.
nobody else wants to deal with Ava's poisonous tongue.
Oh god.
Even Ava had to stand out without grumbling now. She had to stop forcing a bad mood onto her husband and causing him any more trouble. Because that wasn't something a good wife would do.
Oh boy.
We got some conflict in her perspective.
Oh.
Is everything okay? If it's a matter concerning your health, shall I call Dr. Nanjo?
Thanks, but I'm just feeling a little anemic and my throat is dying.
Oh, God.
I'm fine now.
It's a woman's disease. Don't worry about it.
Come on. Don't say stuff like that in front of people. It's embarrassing.
Oh, sorry. Eva elbowed Hideyoshi in the gut. By that time, her normal expression had returned, which allowed Hideyoshi to relax a little.
Yeah, because Hideyoshi seemed really tense that whole scene.
Yeah.
Wahaha.
He's just trying to look after his wife.
I'm sure he is.
She's a good wife, and he's a good husband. The bright sunlight outside almost made her feel dizzy. A small plank for getting off the boat was lowered, and Goda was waiting there, smiling and ready to lend them a hand. Boisterously. Please, Eva-sama. Your hand.
Thank you.
Welcome to Rokenjima. This is you.
Welcome back. Huh?
When she left the boat, it seemed to Ava as though she'd heard the voice of her young self.
No.
No, it hadn't seemed that way. Someone had told her, welcome back. After becoming a shameless adult, the voice of her young self was distant.
What am I living for? What can I do to release myself from this obsession?
Hideyoshi heard her talking to herself. When Hideyoshi held on tightly to Ava's shoulders, his firmness alone told her that there was no need to stay anymore. Maybe it was because the typhoon was getting closer. The lively cries of the seagulls, which usually greeted them when they arrived, couldn't be heard at all. And that's the end of the chapter.
Oh boy, what a start.
We got some setup.
That was a very slow start again.
Not a lot of battler, which is a bit weird. I don't know.
I mean, there was no battler in the beginning of episode 2.
This is true. I don't know.
There was more battler than episode 2's intro.
Hmm.
I guess we'll just have to find out.
In the next episode.
Oh god, my voice.